Welcome to this video lecture. I am giving the lecture on the inverting and non-inverting and configuration of the operational amplifier. In this video lecture, first I want to give the introduction. In the second, to explain the inverting amplifier. Third, I will explain the non-inverting amplifier. Then fourth, voltage follower. This is a special case of the non-inverting amplifier. And lastly, I will give the solve some numericals. So this is the presentation sequence of this lecture here. Now let's start from, as you want to see the application of the op-amp here, let me know what is the operational amplifier first. So basically operational amplifier is a differential input single-ended output amplifier. The op-amp is basically designed to perform the operations, various mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, integration, differentiation. That's why it is called as a operational amplifier. So one of the reasons for popularity of the op-amp is versatility. You can do almost everything with the op-amp here. The user can generally carry out the design without the thorough knowledge of the op-amp. So this makes the design process easy using the operational amplifier. Then we can consider the closed loop configuration of the op-amp here. When you say it's a closed loop configuration here, we can use some kind of feedback into this circuit here. So as shown in the figure here, see this thing here. The feedback is from the output to the input here. So this can be achieved by using some this we can feeding back the part of the output to the inverting input in this case here. Now with the feedback, the closed loop gain of the operational amplifier is reduced and can be controlled so that the op-amp can function as a linear amplifier. So what are the advantages of this thing here? The first is that the bandwidth is increased, that is increase in the range of the frequency over which the gain remains constant. Second thing is less distortion. Third, greater the gain stability. So there are the two basic closed loop configuration of the operational amplifier. The first one is inverting amplifier and the second one is the non-inverting amplifier. Now you can see the first one, that is inverting amplifier. So this figure shows the inverting amplifier here. So you are applying the input to the inverting and the non-inverting terminal is grounded. With the feedback resistor RF which is connected between the output and the input, so that this negative feedback is applied to the inverting terminal. Now here we know we will use the concept of virtual ground here. We know that this non-inverting terminal, this is basically the voltage at this non-inverting terminal, that is a V plus, and that is equal to 0 as it is connected to the earth. Now to ensure the amplifier is not get saturated, so that the voltage at the inverting and non-inverting terminal, they are nearly same here. Since the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is 0, therefore the voltage at the inverting terminal is equal to 0, and this we called as a virtual ground here. This basically the non-inverting terminal is connected to the actual ground here, but this inverting terminal is not connected to the ground here. But the potential at this inverting terminal, that is at point X, seems to be 0 here. This is same as the ground potential, and that's why it is called the virtual ground. Now the current which is flowing through this input resistor here, because of this input applied to input voltage, we say that is the input current here. As you know that the input impedance of the operational amplifier is infinite here, so the no current flows through this inverting input terminal. So all the current will pass through the feedback resistor here. So this is one of the important property of the operational amplifier, and therefore we can write the expression as whatever the input current, this I is same as the feedback current here. Now let us calculate what is this input current. So this is the input voltage minus the voltage at this point, that is nothing but the 0 divided by its resistance here. So that is Vn minus 0 divided by Rn. So that is same as the feedback current, and that is nothing but the voltage at this point is 0 minus the output voltage divided by the feedback resistor. So we can get this V in upon R in is equal to minus V out upon Rf. So therefore V0 upon V in is equal to minus Rf upon R in here. Now, so therefore the output divided by input is equal to minus Rf upon Rin, and this is called as a closed loop gain here. So this closed loop gain is nothing but the minus Rf upon Rn, that is feedback resistor divided by the input resistor. Now this closed loop gain is basically adjusted by using the values of Rf and Rin. So this formula indicates that this can be adjusted by using the Rf and Rin. Now, so therefore the output voltage is equal to minus Rf upon Rin into the Vi, that is the output voltage here. Now, so from this here there is a negative sign, and this negative sign indicate that the inverting amplifier inverts the polarity of the output signal, that is output voltage and the input voltage, they are out of phase, that is 180-degree phase shift is between the output and the input here. Now we can summarize this inverting configuration as here the input is applied to the inverting input terminal and non-inverting terminal is grounded. So this is the case here. Now the second is the gain is negative here, and the third one is that the output shape is get inverted with respect to the input signal. Now let us solve the problem based on this thing here. So let us consider the first problem. So here this is the inverting amplifier here, and you have to find out what is the output voltage for this inverting amplifier with this given inputs here. So the input is like this here, having the magnitude that is 5 millivolts is the input here. The sinusoidal is applied. Then the input resistance 1 kilo ohm, the output feedback resistance is 10 kilo ohm. Then we have to find out what should be the output voltage here. So let us solve this problem here. So the output voltage is given by what? Minus Rf upon R into the V in here. We know the values of Rf is 10 kilo ohm, R1 is 1 kilo ohm. The input is actually it should be a 10 milliwatt should be there here. So that way it becomes a 50 milliwatt here, and this output is increased here. So you'll find that this input voltage is get amplified, but it is get inverted at the output here. So that's the meaning of the negative side here. Then we consider the second problem here. Again, this is the inverting amplifier here. Now we apply the input as a 100 millivolts. Then the input resistance of 2 kilo ohm, feedback resistance of 50 kilo ohm here. Then we have to find out what should be the output voltage. So you know basically the formula for the output voltage, that is V out is equal to minus Rf upon R into the V in. So we know the values of Rf is 50 kilo ohm, R input voltage is what? Input resistance is 2 kilo ohm, and the input is 100 millivolts. So therefore it comes out to minus 2.5 volt here. Now let us consider the third problem here. Again, it's the inverting amplifier with the input voltage of 5 millivolt. Then the input resistance is of 1 kilo ohm, feedback resistance of 10 kilo ohm. Then we have to find out what should be the output voltage. Again, we use the same formula here, that is V out is equal to minus Rf upon R into the Vn, and we substitute the values, we can get this voltage is equal to 50 millivolts now. So therefore output is equal to minus 50 millivolts. Then this is the third numerical problem here. It is given Rn is given 1 kilo ohm, Rf is 5 kilo ohm. Then we have to calculate the gain of the amplifier and the output voltage if the input voltage is 0.47. So therefore the first thing we have to find the gain of the vertical amplifier, inverting amplifier is given by minus Rf upon Rin. So we substitute the value of Rf and Rin, that is 5 kilo ohm divided by 1 kilo ohm, that is equal to minus 5 is the closed loop gain of this amplifier here. Then what should be the output voltage? We just multiply this gain by the input voltage, we can get the output voltage here. So input voltage is minus gain is minus 5 and the input voltage is 0.47, therefore we can get minus 2.35 is the output voltage. Volt is the output voltage. Then what problem we consider here? So here the problem is little bit different here. So I have to determine the input impedance, voltage gain and the output voltage for the circuit shown in the figure here. So basically if you see this figure, it is what the inverting amplifier. We must know, we should identify this circuit shown in the figure is a inverting amplifier. Once you know this is the inverting amplifier, then we consider the first, that is what should the input impedance for this circuit. So you know that the definition of the input impedance, that is the input impedance. From the input side to the inverting terminal here, we'll find that there is a resistance of 5 kilo ohm here. So therefore, the input impedance of this operation amplifier is a 5 kilo ohm in this case here. Then second point is what should be the gain here. So this gain is basically the what, it is a ratio of what, minus Rf upon Rl into the input voltage here. So that is equal to, we know the values of Rf is 20 kilo, R is 5 kilo, so you just divide it, you can get minus 4 is the gain of the operation. And finally we have to find out the output voltage. You just multiply this gain by the input voltage here. So gain is minus 4 and the input voltage is 100 millivolt here, therefore it's a minus 400 millivolt is the output voltage. Then consider the next problem here. Here we have to design the inverting amplifier with the gain of 100 ohms and with the input impedance of 10 kilo ohms. So in order to have this input impedance, that is 10 kilo ohm is the input resistance, gain is given is a minus 100 because it's an inverting amplifier here. So therefore we know the formula for the gain, that is equal to gain, closed loop gain ACL is equal to minus Rf upon Rl. Then we substitute the values of this thing here and we get the Rf is equal to 1 mega ohm here. So then we consider the second configuration, that is what, a non-inverting amplifier here. So in case of the non-inverting amplifier here, the input is applied to the non-inverting terminal, and the inverting terminal here we apply the one feedback resistance Rf between the output and the input here, and through the resistor R1 the inverting terminal is get grounded here. So with this we'll stop here.